Councilman Bodier.
Present.
Councilman Chatelain.
Present.
Councilman Hewitt.
Present.
Councilman Landry.
Present.
Councilman Murray.
Present.
Mayor Mosca.
Present.
Police Chief Dickinson.
Present.
Fire Chief St. Cyr. Absent. And City Attorney Cursell.
Welcome to the regular meeting of the Harahan City Council. Excuse me. We have an agenda that we're going to follow. I want to add that we're very pleased to see so many people here this evening. We are normally used to looking at maybe 2 or 3 people, 4 of which are sleeping. So we really, really appreciate this. And by the way, whatever you're here for, we do have one matter that's on the agenda that really, really is important to the whole city, which is the sewer increase for services. So if you have an opportunity, if you could just stay for that and come up and address the council, give us your viewpoint. Our sewer rates have not been increased for over 10 years. And of course, you know, we have to run our sewer plant according to federal standards. Right now, we're using money from other departments to help subsidize the sewer department. We're taking money out of recreation. Pathetic. Taking money from police and fire to help run the sewer plant because it's crumbling. Our pipes are old. The plant's in need of repair. So this is a very important issue. So please consider speaking on it. Also, when we ask people to address the council this evening, one item on our agenda involves a home on Colonial Club that they want to rezone for certain things. That's only for a first reading, but you can make your point known. You could argue whatever you want. When we say anyone wanting to address the council, that's the time to come up and address the council on that issue, because the only thing that's going to happen tonight is it's going to be read for hearing sometime in the future. You can come back for that, or you can just say what you want to say tonight, or you can do both. Madam Clerk, we have special presentations. And first we have the 2013 8 and under girls Biddy Basketball International Champions. Are the coaches here? Do we have the coaches here? Let's bring them up. How are you? Hand them out, and I'm going to stay in the background. How you doing? Yeah. We'll let them go first. Any other coaches you want to bring up here?
I'll call them when we call the
All right,
roster.
thank you.
All right. First, I'd like to start by saying thank you to the council. I know a lot of y'all supported us in just not funding, but financially as well, with donations to the team to help make the travel possible. So I want to thank everybody here. This truly was a city event in that we had a lot of help from everyone within the city to help make this team travel possible. So thanks to the city of Harahan, thanks to the council, the mayor. None of it would have been thanks to the state reps. None of it would have been helpful, been able to be done without the help from you guys. So thank you. I'm going to introduce the players. It's in numerical order, so there's no special order here. Do you want them to come up and
Sure.
circle by?
We'll let them come up here and shake hands and face that way for a picture.
All right. All right, first up is Allison Windell. Turn with the mayor. Right there. And she has a special. Oh, okay. Sorry. There you go. I'll give it to her. It's my daughter. Next is Jamie Windell. Jamie, hold it up towards the
That's Alice.
Oh, they're in, okay. You good, Jane? For you. Next is Cameron LaFleur. Hold that up.
I heard.
Next is Courtney Lowley. Joanne, take the place. Next is Morgan Henderson. Next is Gabby Perry. As a recognition tonight, Ashby Tuzet, I don't see her here, but she is next in line. So, next is Kaylee Roche. Smile.
I didn't get on TV.
Next is Emma Scamardo. Next is Mallory Buffkin. Next is Abby St. Cyr. And last and certainly not least, Cassidy Killing. And the two most important people on this team are coaches Scott St. Cyr and Sally Morrow. So once again, thank everybody. It was a great season, and it wouldn't have been possible without you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again.
On behalf of State Representative Kirk Talbot, who couldn't be here tonight, congratulations, girls. Keep it up. Keep on doing things like that. We'll keep on sponsoring you. So, certificates I was handing out were from the state of Louisiana, on behalf of the House of Representatives.
I'm going to look you up for 9 and 10.
The city's blessed to have young ladies like this enter in intramural sports and come back a victor. And it's a tribute to our community, to the parents of the children. We live in a community where people share with one another the high things, the low things, and basically government functions well having citizens such as yourselves. So I want to thank you all and thank the children also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You would do a minute recess.
Y'all stick around. Stick around. We're getting interested tonight.
All right, so we can
Hey, little girl with the green raven.
Yeah, I got it.
It's the first time ever that we've
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I'll just make the motion to take it out of the line item.
right. But I'll do 2,000 because he said they're fixing to come up with.
Okay, yeah, but it's coming under the budget. We don't have to do any
Yeah,
amendment change. It's just
these girls.
taking a motion
You know,
to allow
my
them
son, he's there.
2,000
out of the Harahan Senior Center budget.
And we went to a bunch
out
of
of
the
the budget
games.
itself.
Body all in all, too.
If not,
Oh, just sit there instead of where else sit.
Yeah, they're gonna come fill the seats.
Take your bus too?
No, can't make it that far. Break down.
Yeah, it's old.
Starburst.
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah. Well, we have one group leaving. It appears we have another group that arrived. Is that Scout Troop 170? What? 9? Come on up here, young man. Come on up here. We'll bring them up afterwards. Come on up. Come on up. Right there, that podium, young man.
Oh.
Now you're here because you're earning some. You have
Merit
to,
badge.
a what?
A merit
A
badge.
merit badge, right? Well, thank you for choosing our city to earn it in.
And what is your name?
Dustin
And last name, Dustin?
Arena,
Areno. And how old are you?
13,
And what troop are you with?
179.
And where's that located?
It's in River Ridge.
In River Ridge? Out of St. Matthew? Or out of, what school do you go to?
St. Matthew.
St. Matthew? Okay. Cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. And on the way out, have your dad stop for some gas. All right, can we bring up the other troop?
Get a Playboy Charlie.
Bring up the other group. And why don't you announce what group you're with? Right over here.
Yeah, you're right.
Gotta head down.
Who y'all with?
We're from Troop 710,
Where are they from?
and they're based in Kiev, France, school in Metairie.
And y'all earn a merit badge or
Yeah,
something?
we're learning the citizenship in the community merit badge.
Well, thank you for choosing our city to do that. And
Thank you.
anybody else want to say anything? Now's your chance.
What age group are y'all?
Hi, Mom.
Guys, what age group are y'all?
I'm 15, and we're all ninth graders.
Y'all ninth
so-
graders? Congratulations.
Thank you, Mom.
I'll stick with it, guys.
Congratulations.
Madam Clerk, we have any other special presentations? That's it. All right, I know that we have some people in the audience this evening that are candidates for office. Why don't we let them come up now, and then we'll address the council. Anyone who's a candidate for office that wishes to address our city is welcome to do so.
Go in alphabetical order. That's what y'all always do.
I know, but they said to go first, so I'm not going to hold everything up.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Scott Schlegel. I'm running for judge here in Jefferson Parish Division D. Seeing the Biddy basketball players, I saw one of the coaches that actually coached me, and throughout this campaign, you know, you get a little fun. And I don't know if you all can see this, but that's the old school uniform of the Harahan Hawks. I'm born and raised in Harahan. My folks still live here in Harahan. And as you all probably heard last week or last month when my wife came to speak, I'm proud of this community. I'm proud to be from here. And I'm proud of every part of this community in Jefferson Parish. For the past 5 years, I've served as one of the top felony district attorneys here in Jefferson Parish. I understand and appreciate the importance of judges. Judges impact lives. They profoundly impact lives. I've handled over 1,000 criminal cases. I've tried over 50 defendants. I'm the only candidate in this race who has tried and convicted a criminal in Jefferson Parish. Of the 50-plus defendants I've tried, 19 are serving life in prison, and another 8 are serving 25-plus years. The difference between myself and every other candidate is I have current, relevant experience that is applicable to the seat that I seek. For the past 4 years, I have run a felony division in the 24th JDC, the exact same division I hope to preside over. My position as a felony trials assistant is completely different from that of an ADA assigned to drug court. A felony trials assistant is a full-time position where you try cases. An ADA assigned to drug court is a part-time position, and everybody that an ADA in the drug court sees has already pled guilty in a court like mine. I also have civil experience. I started out at a large downtown law firm doing products liability, civil defense. And this is a court that handles both civil and criminal. I went to law school at night while I was a financial planner. I also have a business background. I graduated law school cum laude, and I was a student bar president. I don't seek this position for the prestige of the position. I feel called to serve my community, and I resigned as the sole provider of income to do so. November 30th was the last day that I've worked. My wife doesn't work. I don't work. These positions matter. I understood that the majority of the political support was already shored up before I got into this race. Endorsements are great, and endorsements have their place, but endorsements can never replace experience. You better understand the critical difference between an offender who has made a mistake and one who is a real threat to society. And having handled as many cases as I have, I get it. I understand it. And when I say current relevant, everybody got a cell phone? You know how many legal issues arise out of a cell phone? You know where I formed the basis of that knowledge? When I was on the Vincent Marinello prosecution team. I was the guy who did all the cell phones. I was the guy who busted that alibi. Current, relevant experience to protect and keep this community safe. No one else in this race has protected and served this community in any other way than I. I'd appreciate your vote on April the 6th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Mosca, members of the council. My name is John Sutterth. I also am running for judge of Division D. So far, the past 5 months, I've been walking in our neighborhoods. See, I live right here in River Ridge. I wasn't born here. I wasn't raised here. I've been living here for the last 20 years. I live here now, and I care about this community. In fact, I'm the only candidate that actually lives in this community. The only one that actually lives in the voting district. Now, this judge is going to be presiding over serious criminal, civil, and family law matters. And this district court is not First Parish Court. This court is where we do our jury duty on the West Bank in Gretna. And so therefore the judge can either take your life, take your money, or take your children. It's that serious. It shouldn't be taken lightly. Now, over the past 20 years, I've practiced in every district court in southeast Louisiana. And I've learned that a good judge will not rewrite the law, but will follow the law. Will not talk, but will listen. Will not prejudge you, but will judge you based on the facts of the case, not who the attorneys are, not who the parties are. You see, that's not important. I've learned that when I was an assistant district attorney 20 years ago under Harry Connick. And I had a reputation for being a tough prosecutor. I had a 97% conviction rate. You know, it's not just one area of the law. I wasn't assigned to just one division or one program. I was assigned to 4 different divisions, 4 different programs. I've managed thousands of cases. And I've tried over 100 trials, more than all the other candidates combined. I'm on leave with the Department of Justice, with the State Attorney General's office. And I've been defending our state universities, our hospitals, our medical schools, our doctors, our police officers, and many others from plaintiff lawsuits. I learned in the Department of Justice that the best judge is an independent judge, beholden to no one, without bias for wealth or politics. So consider this when you go vote on April 6th. When you walk into the courtroom, which one of us do you want to see on the bench? Who do you want to see behind that bench? Someone who has many years ahead of them or many years behind them? Do you want to see someone who has experience in one area of the law or all three areas of the law? Criminal, civil, and family. Trials in civil, criminal, and family. Do you want to see someone with political endorsements or someone who is seeking your endorsement, your support, your vote? Because your vote is the only one that matters. My dad told me a long time ago, the only elected official that can change your life right now, immediately, today, is a judge. I still remember that. He told me that when I was 13 years old. I haven't forgotten it. And I'd be honored to be your judge. And I'd be honored to have your vote on April 6th. And I thank you for your time.
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Corsell, Mr. Chief. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support through this process, and thank you for allowing us to take up more time of your obviously busy meeting tonight. My name is Hillary Landry. I've met most of you, if not all of you, before. I'm a candidate for judge in Division D as well. Let me tell you what's happened since our last meeting. I am proud to report that now, of all of the candidates in this race, 3 of us as prosecutors, the District Attorney of Jefferson Parish has chosen to endorse my candidacy. I earned that endorsement, just like I earned every other endorsement that I've been awarded in this campaign. When Paul Connick sought to expand the war on drugs, he sought me out in my private practice and asked me to take the role as drug court prosecutor. That was a difficult decision for me to make with my family. It is a part-time role, and I was fortunate to still have a full-time law practice on the side. I have not quit working. I am going to continue to support my family, and I'm going to continue to campaign at the same time. That program that we have in Jefferson Parish that's been there since 1996 is the exact same model that the governor is trying to implement across the state. We've been doing it here in Jefferson Parish for almost 20 years, and I'm proud to say that I was the prosecutor for that program. There are 4 candidates in this race. 3 of us have criminal law experience. I am one of them. 3 of us have civil law experience. I am one of them. 2 of us graduated from law school with honors. I am one of them. 2 of us clerked at the state district court level. I am one of them. Only one of us has written decisions at the appellate court. I am that candidate. Only one of us has comprehensive corporate litigation experience. I am that candidate. Only one of us has handled comprehensive domestic litigation. I am that candidate. And I'm pretty sure that only one of us has ever facilitated an adoption, and I am that candidate. This court is very important because, unlike Orleans Parish, we hear everything: civil, criminal, and domestic matters. You have a major property issue that's about to could potentially impact your community. I'd like to think you're all here to see me tonight, but the reality is there's something else on the agenda that's pressing. You make sure when you choose a judge and you put a judge on that bench, you make sure she's not going to get on-the-job training. You make sure you choose someone who knows what she's doing when she gets there. I spent nearly 8.5 years in a large corporate law firm downtown representing families, business owners, and property owners in major property disputes. Many of you know I'm a marathon runner. The same strength and fortitude I've put into my training and success in that sport is the same strength and fortitude I'm going to bring with me to the bench. I am delighted to see these beautiful young women here tonight. As parents and grandparents of those children, it is so taxing to make that commitment. I know when my parents did it for me, it was exhausting. I'm doing it for 3 children in 4 different sports at 3 different playgrounds. I know it's exhausting, but for the past 3 months, those 10-year-old girls have run up and down the basketball court, and in 20 years, those 10-year-old girls are going to run the world. And I hope you support them, and I hope you understand the importance of it the way I do. I intend to take the same strength and commitment to my family and to my community to the bench, and I look forward to your support there. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else wish to address the council at this time, please?
Mayor, council, citizens of Harahan. A quick minute to let you know that on March 30th, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., Chief Mac Dickinson in the Harahan Police Department is going to be proud to sponsor the first annual Easter egg hunt for the kids. It's going to take place at the Harahan Playground, again, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. We're going to have drinks, snacks, Easter eggs, of course, and small toys for the children that will be participating. Please call me at the police department if you have any questions, would like to help out. It's going to be a fun event. We look forward to it. And bring your kids, your grandkids, whomever. We look forward to seeing you there. Good time for all. Thank you.
What's that date again?
March 30th, Saturday, March 30th, at the Harahan Playground. Did I say that? Harahan Playground. Thanks.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. I'm Mimi Fallow. I've been a resident of Harahan for 15 years, and I recently opened a business here in Harahan on Jefferson Highway. It's a Medi Spa. This is my esthetician, Jessica. We do chemical peels, permanent hair reduction, microdermabrasion, and body wraps. So Mayor Moscow was kind enough to invite me here tonight to announce the opening of my business, and I wanted to thank him. Thank you. And the address is 6226 Jefferson Highway, right here on the corner of Hickory, the Stringer Building. Everybody calls it the Stringer Building. We're Suite D. And you can find out more information at our website, www.laseralternatives.com. The name of the business is Mimi's Laser Alternatives. Okay.
And who's your friend?
And this is my esthetician. She's, yes, she studied skincare and worked in New York City doing aestheology, and now she's teamed up with me to make Harahan beautiful. So, an esthetician is someone who treats the skin. We do chemical peels, people who have acne or skin problems, aging skin, stressed skin, yes. And we do full body detox wraps where you can actually lose the excess fluid that you hold. And permanent hair reduction is actually like laser hair reduction, but the newest technology is light therapy. So you don't have to be under the invasive light of a laser anymore. You can actually do light therapy for permanent hair reduction. So a lot of people are doing that now, and that's the service that I do personally. Yes, there is. I have actually treated. I worked as a laser technician for a year and a half in Kinner, and I did laser hair reduction on my 8-year-old because she had a unibrow. My husband is Sicilian, so yeah. You don't have. There's no age limit.
Excuse me. What can you do for the Japanese?
And the Italian.
You have beautiful skin. Beautiful skin. I know Italians usually have the hair issues, so we can do a lot of hair reduction for you if you're an Italian. Many people have hair reduction issues, so yeah. Yeah, acne, anti-aging, yeah, vascular problems. I mean, those are all things that we can help. Yeah. Yes, and the reason why I went into business for myself, I worked for a Medi Spa. These services are very expensive when you go to a Medi Spa. My whole business plan was to incorporate affordable skincare, so my prices are a fraction of what you find at typical Medi Spas, so it's affordable to everyone. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we ask Councilman Paul Johnson to step up and give a report to the community of what you've done for us?
And if And if you haven't done for us, what are you going to do for us that's going to be good?
Talk about the,
Well, I came in tonight to,
this
well,
and
first,
that.
how's everybody tonight? I came in tonight to present the certificate of marriage to the young children, the young ladies that were here tonight, but they decided we're going to do it at the council meeting in Jefferson Parish. So that's why I didn't do it. We're going to do it at the East Bank meeting, which will be April 17th.
Right.
Be better, to get them. I didn't know if they could get out of school. That's why I was going to do it tonight.
They skip school all the time.
So, but as far as what we're doing for the city is that next council meeting, I have a resolution dedicating $60,000 to the police department for some police cars, and I have $20,000 for maintenance, and we also have 3 vehicles that we're getting off surplus for the maintenance department.
And we got some modular equipment for the fire department.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we got a few things going on, but on the next agenda we have that for Harahan, and we have a few things for West Wego, a few things for River Ridge coming up, and Old Jefferson, all over the district. West Wego's getting some stuff too. I think I said West Wego, but all in all, everything looks good. Everything's going good, and
Well,
look
thank you
forward.
for being supportive throughout my political career. This is an opportunity to have a person who lives in Harahan be parish council person because it provides us with extra needed revenue.
Glad I could help, and looking forward to continue on and continue helping out. Thank you all very much. Oh, we're working on something for the playground too. Yeah, we're working on something for the playground.
Quick question. Elmwood's really booming out of control. I mean, is our district seeing a lot of money coming out of just Elmwood Shopping Center and everything that's going on there?
Well, about 3 months ago when the parish president did the sales tax report, the Elmwood area was 42% up in sales tax.
Wow.
Now, last month he did it was only 3% up. But it may have been a little slow time. But they've got a lot of stuff going on in Elmwood. We got businesses moving to the area, and we have like everybody knows, the 16 new businesses that are moving into the front of the shopping center where they took down the Burger King and they built all those new areas. So it's really growing over in that area. And when the bridge gets finished, I think it's really going to boom up. I think we got a lot of people coming over from the West Bank. You know, they always ask for your zip code when you come in there. You know, what zip code is 70123 or what is it? And we got a lot of people from the West Bank coming over, shopping in the area. So it's really going to just continuously boom and boom. And they got more things coming into the area too.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all. And
Councilman.
thank you, everybody. Yes.
Can you give a little update on what's going on with the pump to the river, both here in Harahan and the one that's going on at Save? And I don't a lot of people realize what's going on over there.
Okay. We just put out for bid at $25 million to start over here on by the river.
The phase is that phase 2?
They got so many phases.
I know.
Phase 26.
Something. As you know, they
With
did.
the
They putting up. They're
15th
still putting up the
amendment.
utility poles. They're moving everything over.
Right.
And then we're going to have the. They're going to start doing. I think the mayor, you're not notified yet. They're going to be the next 6 months. They're going to start tearing up the playground. And I read a little memo today when I was going through my emails, and they had told us when I was the mayor that was going to be tied up for 18 months. And I read a little memo today. It was 36 months. So I hope that memo was wrong.
Right, type
And what part they're going to be tearing up is going to be
It's
back
going to
by
be the third
horseshoe,
base, the horseshoe pit.
the old horseshoe place.
Yeah, the old horseshoe, and by the third base, they're going to they're going to tear up the stands back there. It's going to be all concentrated to the back of the playground. The front of the playground is still going to be able to be used. It's just going to be the back area.
And then when they get finished with it, they're going to put it back better than it was, correct?
And that's what the memo said today when I read it. It will be put back better than it is now. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, that's the truth.
So we're going to have fans in private facilities.
Well, they had-
and,
Didn't we have fans? Don't we have
and
fans up there?
But I'm looking for. Aren't we going to?
You want air conditioning?
Suites? Yeah, air
Oh,
conditioning
okay.
would be fine. Yes.
We'll see about it.
I can ask for the world. I may not get it, but suites would be fine.
That'd be-
Sure.
Okay. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone wish to address the council on the colonial issue or?
My name is Alan Grimes. Been living in Harahan since 1950. And I just realized they're trying to open up a business 2 houses from my house. she's trying to set up a elderly facility. She wants to put 6 people, I think, residents in it, which they're capable who can bring cars. Don't know where they're going to park them at. Not counting the visitors, holidays, and all of that. And also, if she does it right, she can go up to 8, which makes it worse. I'm totally against it. If you let this pass, this means she can put it any place in the city. I don't be crude, but any one of y'all councilmen vote for it, I'm going to do my best to get you out of office. You know, and plus things like this in your house, you know, the person's doing it, she says, well, people might have business in their house, like a little barber shop or whatever, tax. That'd be true, but those people live there. This person's not going to live there. She lives out the parish. Out the city. She wants to change the zone for one reason, for her, for a business, to make a profit. It's the only reason. I don't have nothing against that type of business, but she can do it on Jefferson Highway. She can do it on Hickory, and a place where it's commercial. What's that? Well, any place, you know what I'm saying? Now, the people who has these facilities in our neighborhood, ask them what they think about it. Might throw up on you right before they tell you something. But this is, it sounds like a good thing, but over time, things can change. She can do it for a year and then she sell it. Make it change into something else. It's a business. Don't pass it. Okay? And can I say anything about the fence issue, or got to come back up?
Anything.
What I thought about the fences was just a thought. We know some people want to put some fences up, and you got people with existing fence. I've been around, like I said, a long time. I know the houses y'all talking about. But you don't let people build new fences. What I think what you should do is, if a house, sooner or later, old age is going to attack everybody. If you do 25 or 30% veneration, well, she can't say the word, renovation, that's when you can say the code, well, falling in the new code, you can't have a fence. And you can't do nothing about the people who've been there for all these years. You just got to let them die off, you want to say that. I'm waiting for it.
That is on the books, though. I think it's 50%.
What's that?
It's already on the books, but I think it's 50%.
50%? Well, yeah, whatever it could be. You know?
Make them come up to code.
Right, just to come up with code. Now, as far as the sewer situation, I have no problem with that. That's the type of business I'm in. As long as y'all keep going to the bathroom, I got a job. But, what's that? Yeah, you're right. One thing I never cared for, but the little money y'all pass for recycling, take that money, put it to sewer. I'm not into recycling too much. You know, why I should separate my trash for somebody else to make a profit. I mean, that's what it is. Everything's about money, you know. But you talk about raising the sewer deal. How much money are we talking about you want to raise? Okay. Well, this is the first time I'm hearing. I don't usually come to these things. But when they affect me, that's when I show up. I'm mostly here for my next door neighbor. And just remember, vote for it. I'm going to vote you out.
Good evening. My name is Rhonda Bagby. I am a field social worker in home health and hospice. I also have the pleasure of working with Margaret, who is trying to get this group home open. As a social worker going out to these homes and also nursing homes, First off, there's not enough group homes. These individuals, these elderly people are getting one-on-one care. They are not neglected. You send somebody to a nursing home, they're neglected. They're not getting the care that they should. If you want to put your family in a nursing home, do it. But don't go and punish anybody else because of it. Thank you.
Hey, make a motion to amend the agenda to code to this. Roll call.
Only first reading.
I understand, but then you tell people they can discuss, they're gonna do it here.
Yeah, because they can't do it then.
Good evening. I am the she that Mr. Grimes referred to in a rather
Please,
negative
when y'all come up,
way.
state your name and address, please.
My name is Margaret Yoakum Caruso. My address is 4420 St. Mary Street, Metairie, 7006. I purchased the home at 1009 Colonial Club to open and operate a personal care home for the elderly. I am not trying to change the zoning at all. The house is going to remain R1A residential zoning. What we are trying to do is what I was told I had to do was to add personal care homes under the list of approved uses in an R1A neighborhood. So I just want to clarify that. We are not trying to change the zoning. This is what Mr. Jeff Charlet told me was necessary.
If you add something, if you add a permitted use, that is a zoning change of sorts. It changes and adds to a permitted use. So the correct thing is, yes, you would be asking for a zoning change.
Okay,
You're changing everyone's zoning.
Because you're asking to zone one spot, not a spot zone. It will change the entire city's zoning so that anybody can get a permitted use of that sort that you're asking for, a group home per se. It would change for the entire city. So it's not just for your one little piece of property in your little spot. It would be for the entire city. So you are asking for a zoning change.
Okay, I'm doing what Mr. Charlet told me I needed to
But you are asking
do.
for a zoning change. So if he was incorrect, I'll talk to him about that. Maybe you might have misunderstood.
No, I promise you I did not. He gave me the packet, it's checked off, text change, text ordinance change.
Right, that's a
Okay.
zoning change.
Okay. Can I read you the ordinance so that,
We have.
okay,
We had the ordinance.
okay, because I think people are thinking that if I sell it in a year, it's going to become some kind of alcohol rehab facility or, you know.
If you sell that home, it will remain the same unless the ordinance will change, and it can be used for any kind of group home purpose, depending upon the way it is structured in the ordinance, how it says.
Right.
So it may not be what you wish to do with it. It may be what someone later may want to do.
I understand, but that's why we wrote it as a personal care home, which has a specific
thing.
deficit.
Call it a duck. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Okay,
So
but a personal care home has a very specific definition. You see, it's only for elderly, it's only for disabled, it's not for,
personal care can mean for somebody that's 11 years old or somebody who's
No.
95.
Cindy, I think she is referencing the ordinance
Right.
that's in our packet, and it does say that there are exclusions.
Right.
Is what I think you're trying to speak of.
the personal care home definition is set forth by the Department of Health and Hospitals. It's a very specific 2 to 8 resident. What it is a very small assisted living type facility.
Okay, we'll discuss this when it comes to vote, but, just for most people's information that, everybody has a right to apply for any type of zoning change they want. I mean, it's their right as a citizen to do it. Not necessarily if we vote for it or don't vote for it. Everybody has a right to do it. If you want to ask for a zoning change and you want to pay the fees and fill out all the forms, anybody in the city can do that. So I don't think anybody think that the city's putting this up or any one of you guys could ask for a zoning change. And it's our job to listen. Now, whether we vote or not vote, that's a whole different story. So, I just want to get, I've been getting a lot of phone calls on it, and I tell, why do y'all even look at this? I said, well, anybody can ask for a zoning change. It's just part of the process. But I really wasn't aware that this wasn't your home. You just,
No, it's not my home. It's not.
but we do have areas in the city that are zoned for this purpose.
Right, I understand that, but the whole purpose of a personal care home is that these elderly people are allowed to live in a regular residential neighborhood among regular residential people. That's the whole purpose, that they're not restricted to a commercial area, that they're not put aside somewhere in some commercial facility. That's the whole point of a personal care home.
Right now, we allow group homes, if I'm not mistaken. I was trying to look up our exact ordinance in here. It is in C2. Don't we have something right now also in GO? Because we have something on Hickory Street.
Yeah, but GO wouldn't.
C2, Hickory and 8.
You couldn't do
right?
this on GO though.
Hickory and 8.
Couldn't do this on the GO.
Hickory and River Road we have.
We have, I'm talking about the one at Hickory and
Which are
River Road.
both C2. I
Which are
believe.
both C2, yes. But we changed that. It used to be GO, now it's C2. So I believe that is still, even though it's rezoned C2, I think that, and that's what I'm trying to look at right now.
I wouldn't like
is-
to see it in GO either though.
I think it's in GO, but I'm not positive, and I would not stake my life on it. I'm
Just
just trying
general
to go
office
back from
guys.
recall.
Okay, when I spoke to Jefferson Parish, I was told that
He's just giving you direction on how to do it. That is the proper way to do it. To change it to actually the definition in the ordinance.
Jeff Cholet told me to go to Jefferson Parish and find out what they do. There are numerous homes like this in Metairie. You know, like probably 8 or 10 off the top of my head. I found out what they did in Jefferson Parish. They follow something called a reasonable accommodation for the handicap, which falls under the Federal Fair Housing Act.
Jefferson Parish's website on their zoning ordinances.
Yes. I went to Jefferson Parish and spoke to someone and asked them, what do the homes in Jefferson Parish do? They are in residential neighborhoods. He told me they file this special permitted uses application. I brought that information to Mr. Cholet, although I'm sure he was quite aware of what they did. And
I wrote it.
right. And he told me I had to add personal care homes to the zoning ordinance, which is why I'm here, which is a very expensive and time-consuming way, I think, to go about this. But I am doing what Mr. Cholet instructed me to do.
Is our regulatory director.
Right,
He's very knowledgeable about these types of things.
right.
But it does change the whole city now. You can't just do it for one house.
Changing
Okay.
this ordinance right here, this changes the whole city. Every piece of R1 property in Harahan
Would be allowed to do it.
would be allowed to do this. I spoke to some real estate appraisers. They said if we change this ordinance, it'll affect the property value in Harahan. Every piece of property, not just next door to you, 3 miles down the road.
Okay, well, I understand what you're saying, I really do. First of all, the house would have to meet all the requirements of a personal care home. And I'm not talking about zoning, but physical
Physical, sprinklers, parking, you have a lot of
size,
requirements.
room size, all that kind of stuff. So,
Right, and I appreciate you coming up speaking. This is a first reading. We're not voting on this tonight. It's to let the public know, to let everyone know what's going on, and everyone can speak their piece. So, you know, we can get the citizens' opinion. You know, everyone can hear. It's going to come up again at the next meeting, and we can all speak, and that's the time for everyone to address this again. But, I mean, I appreciate y'all coming at this meeting for the first reading. Normally, this is just to let everyone know what's going on.
and Mr.
I think we did a good job letting everyone know what's going on.
Mr. Grimes, it's not just for profit, okay? I could pick up some extra shifts very easily to make extra money.
Okay, let's not
It
get
is a
involved with
for-profit,
talking
yes,
to
it
the
is.
person. No, we don't do that.
People think
To address the council.
People think government moves slow, but for these particular reasons, this is why it does move slow. It has to go in front of a zoning board first, and then it comes in front of the council, and it sits for 30 days, and then it votes on it. So sometimes a long process is a good thing. I mean, that's why they move slow, so everybody knows what's going on.
Thank you very much.
I have one thing to say. Yes, my memory did serve me correctly, and that we do have homes for the aged, nursing homes, convalescent homes and/or orphan homes when located on a site having a minimum lot size of 20,000 feet. So therefore, if it's in GO, it's in C1, it's in C2, because we are cumulative zoning ordinance, where if it happens in one, it can continue on up. And we have had that in our zoning ordinance for many, many years, and we already have two that are in there. So we do have that available to our city, and we do allow that happens in our city, and have had that happening for many, many years. It's in GO. And we've had that here for many, many years. So, you know, it is available. You know,
So like St. Joseph's Nursing Home? Is that what
Yes.
you're talking about?
No, I'm talking
she's
about
houses.
Hickory Avenue.
Hickory and 8th, we have
Hickory
one.
and
with
8th, we have
Magnolia
one,
School type
and
situation.
Hickory and
That's not
River
for-
Road, we have one.
That's not for elderly people.
All right, let's move on. Anyone else wish to address the council on this issue or something else?
You may address the council, sure.
Hi, I'm Christina Lacaz. I'm at 4 Wilcox.
You through? You through?
Well, I wasn't born and raised in Harahan, but I actually moved here a year and a half ago. And I moved here because I would pick up my daughter, and my cousin lives in Harahan Oaks. And I thought it was such a beautiful place to be. We lived uptown. And so I moved, I had a lot in Metairie, actually, and I was going to build a home. And I chose to move here because it's beautiful. I felt safe. I don't think this will be safe, but I'm not really understanding what actually will happen. Can they have juvenile? Like I was I was under the understanding that they would have like juvenile homes or.
But we're not
Right now, they
discussing
can't
that
do
this
anything,
evening.
Like-
We're allowing you to address the council, and it'll come up for a public hearing at sometime in the
Well,
future.
I was told that they would allow like when
Well,
people.
we have a copy for you to read.
Okay, you do? Yeah, that would be great. All right, thanks.
Nicole, make that available.
Okay.
And then if you have any questions, you can call us individually.
Okay.
or-
All right.
Oh, can you also put the ordinance up on the website so that we can, people can see that? I'm sure they're quite interested.
Not to cut you off, but we got a lot to do tonight.
Okay, all right, thanks. Yes, I do.
You don't say it on there.
Anyone else wish to address the council?
Amen.
My name is Donna Molaire, and I live in Harahan Oaks on Baracco Drive, 7929. And I understand where the lady is coming from. She feels for these people, but we have facilities for these people already in the works. And she's going to bring that into the neighborhood. You can see it's not welcome. And I hope that maybe she can find another area where she could help the elderly, because they do need it. I do understand that. I've seen it myself. And I just wanted to make that comment to the council that we understand what she wants to do, and we're all for that, but not here, not right now. So if you could look over that and next time when we come back for the next meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Wish to address the council?
Hey, Mike Savage, 404 Bowler Drive. And I believe that this issue must have come up in the past because they've assigned a zoning area or an area zoned to handle this. The GO, I believe y'all were saying it was
It's general office.
General
office.
But
Like,
it's
you wanna-
allowed in
you
that
wanna-
area?
You would, like, I guess
It has
like a
been in
notary.
existence for,
Like if you're a notary and you have one room in your house where you notarize papers. it'd
Okay.
be under
But the
GO.
group home business, that
It'd be under C2.
hasn't been, isn't that, okay, that's,
Under
so it's
GO.
assigned to a
It's under GO
C2
also.
area?
no, it's under GO. I just
Okay.
looked at our have it.
Really?
It's under GO.
Okay.
Okay, so
Right.
it's allowed in
Under
those
three
three
classes.
areas?
Yes.
Well, then it's been decided in the past that that's where it goes. Fortunately, the lady spent a lot of money to go ahead and try to buck the system, but it's,
She
a lot
has
of
a
people
right-
in the neighborhood don't want it.
Right.
A lot of people in the city don't want it. I mean, this thing could turn into, people getting out of prison have to go to a halfway house. They're gonna want to put them in houses like this, or people with drug problems. I don't want somebody like that next door to me. you know, I may have half my stuff stolen. So I don't want it. And if it is passed, I will see about getting y'all voted out of office. So I appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
Let it be known right now that I might vote myself out of office. Okay, Chief, you want to address the council?
Good evening.
Address the liquor license too.
Good evening, Mac Dickinson, Harahan Police Department, Mayor, Council. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. I wanted to go over my March report. The number of calls for service, we had 671. Of those, 7 reported car accidents. 172 citations were issued. Of that, a total of 239 charges. We had 5 patrol requests. Number of arrests, we had 48. Total of 101 charges. Of that, 8 were traffic, 20 were felony, 66 were misdemeanor, 7 were city. Persons and property crimes, of course, 0 murders, 0 rapes, 0 robberies, no attempted robberies. We did have 6 residential burglaries, no non-residential burglaries, no attempted burglaries, no vehicle thefts. We had 11 larceny thefts and 8 assaults. The only thing I'd like to mention is of those 6 burglaries, we made the arrest on every one of them. There was only 2 people. Please lock your doors and windows at night. I know people say they're going to get in anyway, but that's really not necessarily true because we have, as y'all see, we have a great patrol presence here, and if someone's banging on a window or trying to get in a door, someone's going to hear them. Someone's going to call the police, and we'll get them. So what they do is they go around and they check locks and doors and whatever's open, they'll go in. It's not the citizens of Harahan doing this. It's people who come in our city. That's why we have anywhere between 4 and 8 officers at one time work in the city area. So it's probably the best patrol city, in my opinion, in Louisiana. Guys have been doing a great job. I'm very proud of them.
Chief, tell me about the cameras that we have in the city.
We have license plate recognition cameras at the exits and the entrance of the city. What that does is when a vehicle comes into our city, it reads a license plate, it goes to our dispatch. So if they're a convicted sex offender, if they're armed robber, if they're wanted, if the car's stolen, it notifies us immediately, and we send out a unit and make a traffic stop. We had 2 armed individuals come into our city, I believe 2 months ago, last month, and within 6 seconds we were behind them and ended up making a stop.
What were they again?
They were wanted by DEA. They both had prior murder arrests, ski masks with fully loaded weapons coming into our city. So guys did an outstanding job.
It turned into a high-speed chase.
Really?
They're everywhere.
Love to talk to you, though. Come by the office anytime. And one other thing, I'd like to thank Councilman Paul Johnson. He's done an incredible job. He's been tremendously supportive of our police department. He's very generous, and I really appreciate all the help you've done. Thank you so much.
Chief, I have one question.
And just to articulate what he just said, because it's a new phenomena, I don't know how many cities in Louisiana have this, but we have cameras that pick up your license plate and immediately tell the police that the car has been stolen, or if there's if the license plate can be related to a suspicious person. They do a routine stop before the car gets past River Ridge. It's amazing.
And I think a lot depends on how our city is located geographically. Half of the city dead ends at the river, so it's like our own backyard. So that's the way we want to protect it. We want to keep it safe, and it's going real well. So thank you so much.
Amber alerts and stuff, that would work with that also? Like an Amber alert that you could be able to see the car going?
Absolutely.
One other question, excuse me ignorance, and I've always wondered, and I always forget to ask. What is the difference between a larceny theft and a regular theft?
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
Right, they use the term more up north of larceny theft, but it's mainly like shoplifting or someone steals a lawnmower or something like that without going into a home.
Oh, I see.
It's a simple theft.
And Chief, since we have a crowd tonight, tell them about the $200,000
Oh, yeah.
gift we got from the
Quizzing me tonight.
federal government.
We sent a task force agent up to DEA, and what that officer does is work with DEA in doing cases all throughout the metropolitan area. It's great in several different ways. One way is we get to use DEA's assets if we need them here, plus any kind of seizures they make, we get a certain percentage of it. So the first case they closed, we got $200,000, and I believe we have 2 more checks coming. So I wanted to thank DEA for that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief.
What about the liquor license?
Oh.
Are you approving those tonight?
Yeah.
Both of them? They're all in order?
Let me check on that.
All right. Anyone else need to address the council? Thank you for your patience in coming tonight. Madam Clerk, where are we? Approval of minutes. Motion by Bodier, second by Chatelain to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the council meeting for February 21st. Any objection? All in favor? Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Motion by Bodier, second by Chatelain to approve those minutes of February 21st. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. The Board of Adjustments and Appeals did not meet in February. There's a motion by Hewitt dispensing with the reading of the minutes of Planning and Zoning Board, second by Murray. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. And there's a motion by Murray to approve those minutes, second by Hewitt. Any discussion? All in favor? 5 yeas, no nays. No resolutions. We have ordinances for approval, which are those set for public hearing tonight. Madam Clerk, the first one.
The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman Hewitt. An ordinance to repeal and amend ordinance number 1402, which amended ordinance number 53, sewage district number 1 of the city of Harahan, which amended ordinance number 481 of the city of Harahan, and ordinance number 26, section 1, sewage district number 1 of the city of Harahan and the Harahan Municipal Code, chapter 22, article 2, division 2, user charges, section 22-46, schedule of changes, providing for a change of user charges for services rendered by the said sewage district. Whereas present revenues are inadequate to provide for the proper operation and maintenance of the Harahan Municipal Sewage District, which said operation and maintenance is imperative in the interest of the public health and welfare, and whereas current rates have not been increased since 2003, it is necessary to increase the rate charged for sewage service based on water usage, whereas it is recommended that an increase in user charges to pay for the city sewer service, upgrade existing services and facilities in problem areas, and to repay all sewage repair services. And whereas all sewage usage fees shall only be spent on operations, maintenance, capital projects, and debt reductions for the sanitary sewage system. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Harahan, acting as the governing authority of said city, that Section 1 of Ordinance Number 53, Sewage District Number 1 of the City of Harahan and the Harahan Municipal Code, Chapter 22, Article 2, Sewage and Sewage Disposal, Division 2, User Charges, Section 22-46, Schedule of Changes, and the same is hereby repealed and amended to read as follows. The rates and charges for the use of the sewage collection, treatment and disposal services of Sewage District Number 1 of the City of Harahan, State of Louisiana, for each and every residence, commercial or industrial establishment, now or hereafter connected to the Sewage District treatment facilities, shall be based upon the amount of water used and be in accordance with the following schedule. Residences, doubles, apartments, duplex, and other places of abode, the charge shall be at the rate of $2.50 per 1,000 gallons of water, based upon 85% of the number of gallons shown on the water bill for each living unit. Minimum per billing cycle is $7.50. All other buildings, establishments, schools, businesses shall be charged at the rate of $2.75 per 1,000 gallons of water used. The minimum bill per billing cycle is hereby set at $9. Section 2. The subsequent prevailing rates per 1,000 gallons of water based upon 85% of water consumption, as set forth by this ordinance, shall be reviewed by the Harahan City Council annually and/or deemed necessary by the council. Upon review, the current rate may be retained or adjusted upward or downward as warranted by fiscal budgetary requirements. Adjustments shall be based on charges in the Consumer Price Index for utilities. All upward user fee adjustments shall have a cap of 5%. Section 3. The user charges shall become effective on July 1st, 2013. Section 4. All ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed. Section 5. Should any provision of this ordinance or the application thereof be held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. The foregoing ordinance having been submitted to a vote, the vote thereon was as follows.
All right, motion by Shannon Lane, second by Hewitt, open for public hearing. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? All right, this matter is now open for public hearing. Anyone wishing to address the council is welcome to do so.
Mike.
That's okay, I'm short anyway. Okay, it's Judy Johnson on Oak Street. Last time I came, this place was blank, so now we have figures. It hasn't been raised in 10 years, which should have been addressed a long time before now. But you set a cap of 5% from now on. But if you raise it by 5%, it's not going to be $2.50. That's a 200% increase from what it is today. That's a hell of a lot more than 5% 10 years, over 10 years.
Up with 5% to,
Your 5%'s in your ordinance.
if it's the minimum is $9,
That's
the
commercial.
minimum,
No.
that's commercial, then that would only be 40.
Your minimum today, the charge rate for $1.20 is what we pay today on 85%. You're upping it to $2.50. That's over a 200% increase.
Initial one will be, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you,
That's-
okay,
we're
the
aware
first
of
one
that.
you mean. I'm not talking about, you meant the one that we would vote on every year afterwards.
Right, your initial would
After
be.
every year, it's 5%.
If you vote to do that, if it's needed.
If-
That's what
It's not automatic.
I understand that. Okay, there would be a cap, but
Votes
the
can be raised.
$1.20, well, let's go to the next one. The minimum is $5.25 today,
Today.
and you're upping it to $9.
750.
That's a
$7.50.
70%. $7.50 for businesses, but it's, I mean, for houses.
$7.50 for houses, $9 for business.
That's a 70% increase. That's a lot more than 5%. What I want to know also, the mayor is talking about borrowing $4 million. Does this pay for that? So there's another charge coming.
No, it goes to pay for part of it.
Also, the current millage on our tax bill for the sewage plant has fallen to 0.8 mils. It's not even a whole mill. And I know we voted on more than that. So the council has allowed it to drift down to almost nothing. So we're going to get charged on that too? Y'all going to raise that too?
We can't raise mills.
I know, you have to go to the vote of the people, but you can, the millage is not going to pay for the $4 million y'all want to borrow. This is not going to be enough. So you're going to be more than doubling what we're paying now, plus. And I want the people to know that. You don't have any problem with the sewage department, raising the sewage rates, but you don't know what the rates are going to be. Okay? Your $9 is a brand-new fee, because there never was a $9 fee on businesses. They paid the same as houses. Every house, every building in this town paid the $5.25 as a minimum bill. Now houses will pay $7.50 and businesses will pay $9. So that's a brand new fee.
No, it says the minimum will be $9 per billing cycle.
I'm not reading it wrong. Y'all not listening. There never was a charge. There never was a charge separate for businesses. They paid the same as houses.
Right, aware of it.
Now we will pay a charge for houses and a new charge for
Different
businesses.
charges for business. The higher charge
The
for business.
rationale behind that, if you increase businesses, because a business is not
Supposedly
gonna-
uses more. I understand that. But it's
Exactly.
a new charge. So y'all are raising more money.
It's not necessarily a new charge, it's a higher charge for business. It's not that
Correct.
it's a brand-new charge. It is
They
increasing the
paid
business more.
$5.25.
It is increasing the business more than it's increasing the homeowner.
Not 10 years ago.
Right, we're not saying we're not changing it. We're
You're
saying
adding
we're
it.
changing it.
We're at, oh yeah,
It should have been changed a
absolutely.
long time ago.
But it wasn't.
Absolutely.
And nobody bothered to do this before 10 years. I mean, that's
We're here-
crazy, guys.
We're here doing it.
Everything goes up over 10 years. We all know that. But this is ridiculous, a 200 and something % increase.
Been done a long time ago, but it's not.
But if you
politically
follow the
correct.
5% increase, it's not 200%.
Well, we're trying to take politics out of the
So
process.
you're saying we did it wrong all these years, so we're
Right.
trying to make it right.
But you're not
Still
going to make it,
chopping us
but
up.
it's still not going to make it right with this because you're still not going to be able to collect
I
enough.
think what you're saying is that you disagree with us.
No. What I'm
Now
saying
that, what else
is
do
you're
you
not
wanna
telling
say?
everybody the truth. You're going to collect this, you're going to up this, and then you're going to come back and you're going to ask for more millage, and then you're going to come back and ask for money to cover the $4 million you want to borrow.
You don't know that we're going to do that, Judy, at all. We haven't even approved $4 million. We're just looking at the $4 million.
And
because
the
the
mayor
price is
said
so
at one
much
of the
worse.
meetings, they won't give us the $4 million until we can tell them how we're going to pay for it.
Of course.
And that means another tax. So get ready to get your pocketbooks out.
Well, all I can say is that we want everyone to have the opportunity to flush their toilet without having any repercussions of it going into your bathroom and living room. Mayor, come on up here a minute.
Mayor, could you?
Old mayor.
Mayor number
Mayor.
one.
We have three mayors.
Oh, here we go. Look, y'all fight. Y'all two fight, because I'm not getting involved in this.
Former Mayor Carlo Ferrera is very familiar with
Blood pressure up.
the complaints that come into City Hall on a day-by-day basis and the money spent. And just give us your viewpoint of the sewer complaints and the expenditure of.
Well, it's really simple, and the way to explain it is just 3 weeks ago, we had a simple complaint come in, the lady on West Avenue, complaining that the sewage was leaking in our front yard. So we sent the crew out there, and we couldn't determine if it was her sewage problem or our sewage problem. Sound real simple. Dig it up, repair it, and it's over with. That little job cost us over $10,000 to find out that it wasn't our problem. Luckily, it wasn't our problem. It was her problem. Our plant is getting older and older every day.
So could you explain her problem and our problem? And
Our problem, well, her house connection is inside of her property line, right at the property line. When I say our problem, it's our main line that is on the street side of the property line.
or anything on the
So,
street side of the meter?
Anything on the street side, the city's responsible for. Anything on the property line towards her home, she's responsible for. Or everybody is. But it's a fact, the plant is getting older and older every day. We have the old-time terracotta pipes that is like china in your house. You drop it, it's broken. It's underground, we got to dig it up, and it gets costly. As it was known up here before, prices are all going on up with everything. And it's just the problems that we have with the old sewage treatment plant.
And what about calls we get that toilets overflowing?
Well, this is the lady called us because wash clothes, it all backed up into a utility room. The kid went and flushed the toilet, everything went on the floor and backed up into the bathtub. And I can understand the lady being very upset about it. But ultimately, it wound up, it was her fault.
But if it wasn't her fault, we pay for.
It wasn't her fault that we paid for it. We're still going to have to pay $4,000 for the camera work to get it done, and another $500 to dig another hole to do some research work. Our share of it is going to be $2,350.
What about our lift stations? Explain that to them.
Our lift stations, we have 14 lift stations. When I talk about lift stations, I don't know if everybody's familiar how the drainage system works in Harahan.
It's a gravity flow lift station system, which means all over Harahan we have lift stations. You may see them. They're green. They got a big silver box up there with lights on the top of it. We pick the sewage up. Let's start at Fulton Street by Winn-Dixie. It'll pick the sewage up so high and let it flow to the next manhole. To the next manhole be another lift station. It picks it up again and lets it flow all the way down to the next lift station. Ultimately, we have a force main at the end of all this with 3 pumps in it, and it pumps everything to the sewage treatment plant. So all these motors are going on. They're very old. They're burning out. The systems, the tanks, when they were put in, the lift station, when they originally put in, they were made out of metal, and they're rotting out. And to change those, $150,000 minimum. So that's where all the cost is right now. The plant is getting old itself. We got big paddles in there to keep sewage churned up and turned so we can treat it. Got EPA requirements that we have to meet that are really stringent, and they cost a lot of money to meet those requirements.
And what about when there's an issue of spending money? What are our checks and balances? Don't we have checks and balances to ensure that we get the best price for the work that needs to be done?
That is my job. I handle all the contracts for maintenance, and especially the sewage department, because looks like I'm signing contracts every month for sewage repairs, and we go out for bids. We just don't accept the first bid we get. We go out for bids, make sure we get the minimum bid, and we get a quality contractor to do the work also. But we do stay on top of it. We check. Well, first of all, to make it perfectly clear, we have a company that runs the sewage treatment plant for us, a company by the name of Viola Water. National concern, international concern actually, that runs our sewage treatment plant for us. But we still have the headaches of approving the repair work that they want to do.
So we make them report to us on a daily basis.
Daily report, I get a report every day of all the work they did the day before. They fill out all the EPA requirements. We test the sewage every day. It goes to a lab every day for testing to make sure that we meet the EPA requirements.
Just as an example, the city of Kenner right now is under an administrative order to remedy several problems with their sewer plant. Those are enforced by EPA and DEQ and a lot of federal regulations. We send every month a report to these agencies. They evaluate that report, and then they send inspectors in every so often to look at everything with our plant and how we're running it. If we would have a violation, they would tell us. Now, the higher the violation, the more problematic it becomes. Kenner right now had to borrow, I think it was 20 million, 25 million to fix their plant and their pipes. So far, within the last 10 years, I think, we have not had any repercussions from either DEQ or EPA. So what we're worried about, though, is two things. We're spending city money, your tax dollars, that are dedicated towards recreation, senior center, maintenance, to help pay our sewer bills, because we need to repair things and we need to run the plant. So it's not fair to take money out of another department. Last year it cost us, I think, $190,000 that we took out of other departments.
We had a deficit of 190.
Yeah, and it's every year. The last 5 years we've been running. Well, we would run at a deficit if it wasn't for us piling in more money from other departments. Was another thing I was going to ask you is right now they do an evaluation of the plant every so many months, right?
Right.
And they tell us what's broken and what isn't.
That is correct.
Now, we don't just take their word for it. We have an engineer that's associated with the city. We have other sources So we go out and verify the things are broken, and then we come back to the drawing board and figure out how we're gonna pay for it.
I figure out how we're going to fix it, and he figures out how we're going to pay for it.
Okay, thank you.
May I ask
You
you a
are.
question?
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Colo, could you tell the citizens and also us the avoidable problems like dental floss or diapers or
Baby diapers, adult diapers are the biggest culprits that we have, believe me.
and how much they cost if we get one stuck?
On an average, we probably have at least 5 times a week, we'll get a call that the lift station is filling up with water. We send somebody out there, the pumps are off. We got power, got electricity, but the pumps aren't actually pumping. They cut it off, they got to get another pump to pump the lift station out because they have to go down in there. And they're talking about 10 feet down in the ground. Once they go down there, they'll usually find diapers in the impellers. That's the thing that makes the pump the water. In the impellers. It's a job to pull all that out, take the diapers out, because once they get wet, they swell. And they have to pull all that out. And we're talking about at least 4 to 6 hours of them to do that. And all the time that they're doing that wet well is filling up with surge again. And we have to have another pump to pump it up, bypass that one, go down 2 blocks, and dump it into the next manhole. But believe me, just in the last years that adult diapers have gotten popular, our problems have increased tremendously with that.
And I also found out a couple of years ago that dental floss is a big
Dental
problem. That stuff
floss,
is so strong. I
it
wouldn't
is.
imagine.
It's so strong, and it gets up in there, and that's a bigger job. Diapers we can get out fairly easy. Dental floss, we got to pull the impeller off and make sure we get it all out.
And every time this happens, we have to pay for a pump to come out and pump that well down for us
Yeah.
to get in there.
We is
You-
you.
We is in us.
Huh?
Taxpayers' dollars.
Taxpayer.
Yeah, well, we are looking at that now, getting information on the shredder pumps. Yeah, we're talking about that right now with the shredder pumps. We haven't bought new pumps. We've been rebuilding pumps. We had old pumps, so we just keep swapping old pumps that have been rebuilt. But
We
we're
don't have
talking
enough
about the shredder pump.
I thought being mayor, you cut ribbons and you
Those are
kiss
the only- I mean,
babies.
those are some things that other
Now what you do
citizens
is
can
sewer
kind
and
of keep the
stuff.
bill down.
Yeah. And of course, well, I better not even say that, because I was going to tell you, people have crawfish boils, and it's easy for them to walk to the front of their house, lift the manhole cover up, and dump all their crawfish shells into the manhole. So that gives us a problem.
Excuse me. And you know, with summertime coming, we'll have the strong rains and the water gets in the street. And I know when I was a kid, we used to go play in the water and all, but with the terracotta pipes and the sewer system and the drainage system being almost one, you do have seepage. So if you have young children and they want to go play out in the water that's in the street, please don't let them. Years ago when I was young, it was no problem.
Just don't take them back to the sewage treatment plant, let them go swimming if they
Yeah,
want
I mean,
to
if
do
they have
that.
a cut or something on their foot,
It's not
could be
pleasant.
dangerous.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And Councilman Johnson, can you come up a minute and then we'll get this man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain to the people about, I mean, I'm thinking for me, we had 2 millages.
Right.
Can you explain that?
Right. We have 2 millages that we collect on the property tax. We have one, I'm not sure what it is now because we've rolled it back, and I've been gone for a couple of years, but it's like .75 or .8, I'm not sure where it's at. But we also have another millage that was passed when I was mayor. We had a millage for 2 mills that was put on the ballot, and the citizens passed it. 78% of the citizens voted in favor of this mill. So we do have 2 millages we do collect. Now, I'm not sure where that one's at now. It might be at 1.75 or 1.8, I'm not sure.
1.75 sewage construction.
Now, my recollection is, we went to putting a user fee on the water bill because it was every other month, and we felt it might be easier for some people to pay that every other month than the one-time hit on their tax bill.
Right.
Right.
Right. You have 1.75 and you have .88. Those are the 2 sewage bills you have on your property tax bill.
And those two, and unfortunately, that along with what we get the other stuff, it's still not,
Still not enough.
it's still not for the $629,000 that we have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And basically what we're pulling in, from what I understand, and Councilman Hewitt and I have been sitting here working figures and so forth, and, when you have 629,000 going out, and you have $629,000, and then 425,000 coming in, your shortfall is 204,000, 205, give or take. Where does the money come from? It comes from other places in our general government. And so we're not able to continue other programs that we've been doing, and we've tried to have shortfalls there. I mean, let's just face it, everybody's got money problems, and we haven't done anything with our fees in so long. And it looks like it's either we're going to have to raise some fees, or we're not going to be able to flush our toilets. And that just doesn't mean yours, it means mine too. So we're going to have to do something, and nobody wants to, raise taxes. I sure as hell don't want to. Excuse me. I mean, I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
Well-
Nobody wants that, but it's something we may have to seriously look at, because if not, it affects our sewage, and I've done that
finish.
once more in my time.
And the major difference is millage, you pay all at one time in your tax bill.
Discussion in 1 minute.
The user fee, it depends how much you use. So some people may end up just paying the minimum per month. Other people may pay 4 times that because they use a lot more water. Yes, sir.
And pardon me, I didn't mean to say that word, but y'all know how I feel.
My name's Clark Davis. I live on Baracco Drive in Harahan. Maybe I missed it, but I haven't heard anybody tell me approximately in dollars and cents how much it's gonna affect the average residential rate.
It's gonna double your water bill
Eric,
it's gonna double it.
It's
do you want to do
going to double the sewer usage fee on your water bill. For example,
You know what you pay now?
Pardon me?
How much do you pay now?
I have no clue.
on
because
your water bill, they're going to have a sewer usage fee,
Okay.
which the minimum fee is $10.50.
So
That's this bill right here is from a single person living in a house. They're paying $10.50
Now, how often? That's
every 2 months.
every other month.
okay.
I have my water
Probably
bill
quarter
here.
a month.
So it's $525 a month.
I have some other water bills here, right here. I have my water bill right here, which is extremely high. I have a sewage fee of $39.78.
So Eric, that's a family of 4 with a pool.
Family of 4 with a pool with a sprinkler system, and it's $39.78. I also have my father's water bill here. A lot of water bills.
Family of 2 is 12,000 gallons.
12,000 gallons, I believe his was.
Different for everybody because it's
It's
a
like
understand.
$12 or
consumption
something.
rate. It's kind of a weird formula.
I understand that.
His was like $12
a couple
or
bucks.
$12
It's
a
obvious,
month.
obviously it's gonna be it could be a significant amount of
Well,
money
you're
to some
talking about
people.
from $5 to $10 per month on the minimum, basically.
Every other
That's a
month.
minimum.
Every
yeah,
other-
Every other
yes,
month.
Every other month.
Cycles is every other month,
Right.
not every month.
Well,
Every other
Sir,
month.
sir, what I did the math from a family of 2
Okay.
that consumed 12,000 gallons.
All
A
right.
family of 4, like Eric just stated, that uses about 40,000. So we just took the middle, 25,000 gallons, the average family may use, and it came to $32 extra on your water bill, which you pay every 2 months. So you could say $16 extra per month.
Well, that, it needs to be done. This is extent the $4 million proposal. That's nothing to do with the $4
Completely
million
different. That's
situation.
completely something different.
But I do really think, just personally, like that gentleman mentioned, give me a break on this picking up, separating my trash. That's just a waste of money, in my opinion. So if I'm going to have an increase on my water bill and sewer bill, we need that. We don't need to go back to recycling. I think we need to get rid of that, and that's just my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say, too, that we have in front of us all the minimums for all of the other municipalities. And so Harahan currently is at $1.20, and we're asking to raise it to $2.50. Tanner presently is at $3.15. Westwego is at $3.54, and Gretna is at $3.70. So as you see, we're still way behind all the other municipalities of what they're charging per 1,000 gallons.
And we've been looking at this for, what, 7, 8 months at this point? I mean, it's not like something we just pulled out of the hat. This has been looked at for 7 to 8 months, back and forth, back and forth.
I grant you, the plant's getting old, you need services. and maybe you haven't been increasing it like you should have been over the years. But I think what most of the people are complaining about, 40%, 50%, 100%. When was the last time your salary went up 40, 50%? You know what I'm saying? If something just costs a penny, oh, well, we're just going to raise it to a nickel. That's a hell of an increase.
Agree with you.
And you just keep doing, oh, we're just going to raise the bread up a nickel. We're going to only raise the fire department a quarter. Before you say, you know, that's what I think the general population is coming with. You get a raise, what, 3% a year maybe? Some people don't even get a raise. And, you know, grant you it's a hard battle. You need to increase the surge. But I think that's what most people are complaining about. It's just jumping up too much, too fast, and people can't afford it.
I think those people that have had the sewer back up, though, will take the position, I'll bite the bullet, I'll pay for it.
Well, and I think that's what we try
No,
to
it's
do.
not always their problem. It's
Not
the
always.
cities. It could be their problem, but
This should have been, listen. Well,
Yeah.
it should have been done over the years, and that's what we try to do in Section 2, is to take the politics out of it, because nobody wants to raise fees because it's not good politically, because you're raising a fee, but which you can take that any kind of way you want, but if you could take the politics out of it and have a small increase on a yearly basis if needed, that's the way it should be done. It should be automatically done instead of, it's just like rolling millages forward. Nobody ever wants to do that because it's not politically correct to do as a politician so far. But, I mean, that's why it seems to be such a jump. It's been 10 years. It should have been done. Most of it, all of us wasn't on the council 10 years ago, but it does seem like a lot, and I agree with you, and I'll be paying as much as you and anybody else, but I don't know what else to do. If we're going down $200,000 a year, it needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed at one point. So we'd raise it $1 this year, and then another $1 next year, and then we come back the year after that, $1 again. That's so every year y'all raising $1 every year. What are y'all doing? You just raised it last year. So I mean, if we have to take a bite the bullet and we get yelled at, and you know they don't like me because we do it, the peoples with their toilets backing up, they love me for doing it. I mean, we need to do it. We need to get something done with it. It is a bad system, and the mayor failed to mention, not only does the EPA correct you, they fine you absurd amounts of money, like $1,000 a day if you don't meet their requirements. And 10 years ago, Mayor, we were getting fined some crazy amount of money that Viola had to lend us money. And we were getting fined like so much a day. Because of why?
One thing I want to say to the gentleman that's talking about recycling. I just want to give y'all some figures and throw them out. I know that you're getting paid, we're getting charged, what, $2.16 every month on our water bill. If you understand that by the recycling, I know a lot of people are not into it, but the recycling helps by lowering the amount of garbage and tonnage that we put into our landfills. We have tipping fees for each ton that we put into the landfill. That costs us X amount of dollars per ton to tip, to do. If that recycling, if the tonnage comes off of that, which the recycling is doing for us, okay, that saves a little money in the garbage fees, which in essence we have not raised in how many years, former mayor? We haven't raised, former Mayor Johnson, we haven't raised garbage fees in how many years? 10 years? 8 years? How long has it
Garbage
been
fees.
since
When was the last time we
it's
raised garbage fees? He's just a Jessup Parish Council.
He knows. He's just
Anyway,
a Jessup
it's been
Parish
a while.
Council. It's been several years since we've done it. And the point that I'm making is that we're even subsidizing that right now also. The amount of $63 that you have on your property bill every year, that is not enough to pay for the entire year's worth of garbage fees. So by doing the recycling, you're reducing that somewhat and helping us not to have to take it out of the other big pool of money that we don't have and putting it on that. So rest assured that your money, we're trying to use it wisely. So what we're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul in essence on this. So my point is that please recycle because it helps you in the long run anyway. Okay? Thank you.
anyone else wish to address the council on this? A motion by Hewitt, second by Shetland to close the public hearing. All in favor? Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Discussion. Who wants to go first?
I don't have a discussion. I think I made my point.
Eric?
I feel we need to raise the fees. We, people, like I said, it's been 10 years since they put any charges on there. And I believe someone said we got a .88 on our millage, which actually I believe that was correct. We have a 1.75 for sewage construction, and we have a sewer maintenance of .88. I believe we need to raise the fee because I see what's going on with the sewer pumps, the lift stations, the sewer plant. I mean, if anyone wants to go see, call me. I'll bring you over there. I know it's a big bite, you know, and he's sitting there saying, well, it hasn't been raised, it hasn't been raised. Okay, so let's fix what's wrong, you know, let's put it on here. I mean, we could have raised it $1 this year and $1 next year, you know, and then we'll have to hear, you raised it $1, now you want to raise it again? You know, if we'd have been raising it the last 10 years, we'd be at this $2 point. So I'm in favor of raising the sewage fee.
Councilman Bodie?
No discussion.
Councilman Hewitt?
My only concern, Mayor, is if we, hopefully it's at a low interest rate of 1%, are we going to be able to reap the benefits with increasing this to then cover that note? Or will we still have a shortfall? So that's my only concern. And I'm not sure if we need to revet these numbers again. And I'm not a person who likes to drag things on and cause more bureaucracy. But it seems as though we might need to revet these numbers and to make sure that we can cover the cost of the loan.
Well, I don't think it'll cover the cost of the loan at all, but I don't even think it's going to break us even.
Well, I just did some
You did
math,
some
and
math.
it's close, but
It's close.
not covering it.
Well,
In my opinion, with my math, I'm not sure if it's correct, but with the numbers that I have.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Councilman Murray?
Councilman Hewitt and I sat here and looked over some of the numbers, and I feel the same thing. I'm not going to really reiterate what she said, but I do agree with her. I would like to ask that we take another look at this and maybe postpone it one more month, if they would. I know it's something people may not want to do, but I think we do need to look over it. My numbers don't show that it's actually going to cover everything. I think I'm looking about 10,000-15,000 short to take care of that and take care of the loan.
Well,
So I don't know what we can do per month, so I don't know where the money would come from that, but
I think what
I'd like to defer it.
I think what both of you are saying is, if we evaluate it some more, it only has to go up, it can't go down.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And I'm not in favor of going up any more than going up right now. I mean, I would have to veto it
I'm
to
necessarily
go
in
up
favor of
any
it.
more than we're gonna do right now. Just wanna be frank with you, I would have to veto it. So I say, let's get this. We do have another source of income, for the shortfall, which I think your math's correct, and it's not that much of a shortfall. And we do have, a couple of other options with the state, which is the term, that we pay back the loan would lower the,
Extend it more?
yeah,
Less?
would lower the amount. I really don't want to
Well, and
do
I don't know
that.
I don't know that information.
I really
Yeah,
don't want
haven't
to do
heard
that,
of
but I think we would have another source outside of going to the departments that we could utilize. I talked to the state, and we can use video poker money for it. I think the problem is, once you approve it, it's going to take me a minimum of 60, probably 90 days. I got to go through a process with the parish, so they will put it on the water bill. The earliest right now I can get it on the water bill would be July.
And a quick question on that. As we're talking about this, and we're talking about the fact that we're looking at a possibility of 4.1, ability to get possibly a 4.1 million.
I don't know why y'all keep bringing up this
Hang on.
loan matter, because it's not even up for discussion. We haven't even approved it. We started discussing
But it's sitting out there. It's the white horse. It's
Because you know there's another source that we can't speak about right now, that the money may be coming in to take the other repairs, but, I mean, why even
Yeah, I'm
get
not
a
even aware
loan
of that.
involved?
Are you
Why?
aware of that? I don't know what that means. I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of another source. So
We talked about it at the last executive session.
um,
But
So
I
the
don't
point
understand
being-
what the wait is for.
The state's not lending us the money now because we can't show them how we can pay them back. If we get this money and we can't show how we're going to pay them back, they're still not going to give you the loan.
Right.
They might only give you 3. Everybody in here has borrowed money.
But the point, but the point here is with an extra few dollars in here, which is not,
We
you know,
may
a
be able to
penny-
take the money
penny
we've been
more.
taking a hit on
Got
over the
chopped up
time. We'll
over
have that little
what
extra.
you
We'll
got
do a little
now.
repairs at a time.
Right, but with a penny possibly more on this, you could probably get your $10,000 a month per hour.
Mayor, I'm ready to vote.
I'm ready to vote, man. I'm not going up any higher.
Any other discussion?
Short. We're gonna be short.
All right, before we, I don't want to burden our citizens with more fees. But I look a little bit ahead and say, is it money well spent for the future of our children, our grandchildren?
Oh, without a doubt.
And to me, it's money well spent. Now, it's coming from us, not from them, but we're providing a better place for the whole community if we have a better sewage system. I don't know if anybody's experienced it. A backup is not a pleasant situation. And it's not just the homeowner's fault. The city has a responsibility to ensure that the city's not responsible. I can't go to a homeowner and say it's your fault without showing them a videotape saying, here, come see this, it's your fault. I'm not gonna put the burden on them to pay a bill to fix something that, that I can't prove to them it's their fault. So, yes, it's an unenviable situation to do this, but in my opinion, it needs to be done.
And Mayor, my opinion is it needs to be done also. I just wanted to go over the figures one more time, but, I mean, I know we don't want to go up any more than we have to. I'm just concerned that the figures aren't matching. At least we will get some money in, and we won't be putting as much money towards it out of big barrels, so to speak, and taking away from other line items. But believe me, I've had a backup in my bathtub. It's not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. So, and I know we need to do this. I just hate to see it happen. It's one of those things, it's,
I don't think anybody's in agreement of raising it.
oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
And I don't
Without
think
a doubt.
anybody's going to want to go up high. I mean, we're already making a big increase.
I
Why-
know.
I can't even
I
think
know.
about
I
going up
agree with you.
anymore. And we've been through so many figures back and
Hey,
forth.
we all
I mean,
have.
I know we've all spoke to the mayor. We've all spoke to each other individually.
Let's call for the
Come up with a
vote.
figure.
Let's go.
All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Thank you. Madam Clerk, what else we got?
Hey, that was a long, fought, hard one.
Motion in the second, Mayor.
A what?
Motion by and second.
Seconded by, you.
Me.
I put it up.
Eric and Dana.
Seconded by you.
Oh, yeah, I got it right here. All right, we ready?
Next, we have a deferred motion. It's because Plan and Zoning hasn't made a decision yet.
Okay.
Just read the caption, we'll call for a public hearing, then we'll defer it.
An ordinance to amend ordinance number 1333, section 18, subsection E, exceptions and modifications to use regulations number 3.
All right, motion to open for a public hearing by Hewitt, second by Baudet. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion to close the public hearing by Hewitt, second by Baudet. All in favor? Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Motion to defer by Baudet, second by Murray. All in favor?
Yay.
Okay. That's the reason we defer that is because Plan and Zoning wants additional time to study it. All right, Madam Clerk, then we have ordinances for introduction. Now, this is a problem. Everyone has a right to bring an ordinance to the city for a hearing and a vote. Any citizen has that right. In order to allow that right, somebody has to introduce the ordinance. A lot of times, no one wants to introduce the ordinance because they're not in favor of it. In this situation, if we don't bring the ordinance for a hearing, now we got a big problem, because they get to go to court and say, we didn't give them a hearing, we didn't give them due process. The first thing up, I think, is the home on Colonial, right? Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So read that. In other words, someone, or you want to do it unanimously?
For what? Oh,
Who wants to introduce it?
do we have to, we have to introduce it,
If
right?
we don't,
We haven't introduced a lot of
Don't
them.
have to introduce it?
yeah.
You don't have to have a second, Bob, but you have to.
Well, I would say this, the lady did put the fees up, she did
Okay,
follow the...
okay, the city attorney is saying if we don't allow them the opportunity to come before us for a vote, they can go to court and sue us.
Vote on this at the next,
And let's do it
next meeting.
unanimous.
I'll put it on, I need 60 days.
Then why, you're not in favor of unanimous?
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Is everybody okay
60
with that?
days.
You don't want to do that, Dana?
I want to do it for
Unanimous
60
is
days.
fine.
Dana, let's say do that.
Unanimous is fine, but not a
You do
60
that,
day.
I mean,
I don't
counsel?
think we can put a 60-day on it. We'd
Then
have
do
to
it
just
unanimous.
defer it next year.
Or we can defer it.
I want
I
to
don't
defer it.
I'm gonna defer it.
Right?
Yeah, I can.
It's not even up, we can't
It's
defer.
not up.
Sponsor unanimous, I'm for that.
I don't want to.
All right, I'll,
Now, understand, it's just, that you gotta put it up, because our counsel, the attorney's saying if we don't give her a chance to come before us, that they can file suit against us, that we didn't give her due process, because she paid fees and she filled out the forms. So, I mean,
I will sponsor the ordinance, but I will be voting against it, so we can move on to it tonight.
I think most people know our
A
position on this
motion,
ordinance.
voted.
Well, if we do
I'm
it,
not gonna
no,
be here
if
next
he put it up by himself, he wouldn't be here, but if we do unanimous, we could vote on it next month.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
not allowed.
put Bodier,
I'll take it.
Good man.
Y'all can all call me.
and,
Still voting
put
against it.
Bodier,
It's just
But I don't mind the
simple.
calls, it just, people think that you putting the ordinance up.
what do you call
She
it?
doesn't live in Harahan. The citizens of Harahan don't want it. We're not voting for it. I mean, it's just, it's that easy.
What you say?
Pro hug tongue. All right, next,
You don't wanna
we have
read
an
it?
ordinance for, to increase the, to move police money around. Who wants to do that?
I'll take it.
All right, Bodier.
Get a good one. At least I took the bad one. Give me a good one.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 1750, the annual budget of revenue and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2013 for the City of Harahan Police Department. Bodier. Madam Clerk? What's next?
Old business.
Old
No,
business.
before we do old business, or we put this up in new business to, take $2,000
Yeah, new business.
new business?
Old business.
David Cobb lawsuit.
Basically, about 2 years ago, the city was sued by the former regulatory director, and the United States Court of Appeal for the Fifth Circuit ruled so far 90% in our favor that he didn't have a right to sue us for that. There's an issue that the city, if he can prove that he worked some overtime, then we have to pay him the overtime. But right now, that's still in discussion, but for the most,
Moving on.
new
with
business.
your
Can we call for
report thing
quiet,
here.
please?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mayor. Next,
No, you appointing,
that's right, Mayor.
You did. You
Mayor,
appointed.
not pro tongue.
No, you,
Right, that's right,
Remember that?
right.
You have me as Sergeant Arms. Hey,
Madam Clerk?
doing my job.
Madam Clerk?
New business?
Yeah.
Number one, an application for a low-content alcoholic beverage license for Rita Briscoe Wilford, owner of Gas World Express, located at 984 Hickory.
Madam Clerk? It's all in order?
We have everything we need. It's
All in favor?
Yay.
Okay.
Opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Next one?
That's low content. Yeah, that's fine.
We got low content.
All right. Number two, St. Rita Knights of Columbus Women's Auxiliary will be hosting their first Easter egg hunt
Gentlemen,
at St. Rita School on March 23rd, 2013, and would like permission to sell beer and wine at this event. All proceeds from this event will go to St. Rita Food Pantry.
All in favor? Yay. Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
All right, number 3, an application for a high-content alcoholic beverage license for Megan Nicole Nipper, owner of The Bar, Daiquiris and Spirits, located at 1820 Dickory Avenue, Suite B and C.
We approved it.
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, no nays. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.